a college student wrestling with a giant Burmese python.
Once a snake has caught and killed a human, can it actually consume it?
I think it's safe to say that most of us do not like snakes. That all being said, snakes are part of our ecosystem, and every now and again we see them whether we like it or not. Now, while most of us see snakes from a distance or through the television, there are some people who have been unfortunate enough to have some really close-up and personal experiences with these animals. And in this video, we'll be showing you some of the most deadly encounters ever recorded. Join us as we have a look at 20 deadliest snake encounters caught on camera. A quick stop. If you're ever going to visit a water body, you really need to be careful not to incur the wrath of a sea snake. They may prefer to stay in water and not come onto the land, but these guys definitely have their own temper. Our next video shows the moment when a guy on a fishing trip got an unwelcome visitor literally in his boat. The guy, who apparently runs a YouTube channel, had decided to take some time out and go fishing in what appeared to be a swamp. I mean, why go to a river or a lake when you can literally risk your life by entering an unknown swamp to fish? Anyways, while he was fishing and having a good time, he reached out to his side and caught what appeared to be a snake lurking and gearing up to pounce on him.
Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, shoot!
It's a bit difficult to see what type of snake that it was, but I'm actually surprised that it didn't turn and snip him just a little. Either the snake was looking to get something else, or just was not in the mood to eat anything that day. Whatever it may have been, I think the guy should definitely count himself lucky. More than it can chew. Anacondas are easily amongst the biggest and most menacing snakes of the world. They're known for their size and immense strength, particularly their ability to strangle their prey, since they don't have any venom to bring them down. Nevertheless, for an anaconda to effectively get its prey, a lot of things need to be right. In the first clip, we see a menacing video where an anaconda gets behind a baby cow and tries to bring it down using nothing but brute force.
Hoje, 22 de janeiro, aqui na Fazenda Araponga. A presepada que aconteceu aqui hoje. O sucuri pegou o bezerro e não deu conta de engolir.
As you can see, the anaconda is at a bit of a disadvantage in this one. The calf is standing up straight, and the snake is pretty much only able to clamp its teeth on its leg. But as it tried to bite down the calf's leg, it found that it was just unable to get the leverage it needed to weigh it down. To make things worse, the calf, rightfully scared, began to move around hysterically. I can't even imagine how terrifying the moment must have been for it. Fortunately, there was a group of farmers on the scene who eventually helped the calf to break free of the anaconda's bite, but that help should have come much earlier. Outmaneuvering the wrangler. The Burmese python is known to be one of the largest and deadliest snakes in the world. Like many pythons, these guys don't have any venom, but to be honest, they don't really need it either. The bite of the Burmese python is especially strong and capable of causing severe lacerations. Besides that, the snakes are known for their ability to wrangle and strangle their prey as soon as they catch it. Over the past few years, there have been a bit of a resurgence for these snakes. They're generally native to Southeast Asia, but they've become especially prominent in the United States, particularly in the Florida Everglades. In this next clip, we see a moment when a man in Florida apparently had a crazy encounter with a Burmese python that he'd found close to a sidewalk.
Losing it, Jake.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Let's go!
Dude!
You got tape on you? I know you carry tape.
Honestly, you've got to give it to the guy. Not only did he display an insane amount of skill to catch the python's head, but he was also able to hold his own and stop the python from squeezing the air out of his lungs. And with the help of people around him, he had managed to walk away unscathed. Deep sea encounter. If you think that humans are the only species that don't like snakes, well, you'll be surprised. Even sea snakes definitely have a lot of haters, and at the end of the day, no one wants to get bitten. For this next clip, we see an insane encounter between a sea snake and a moray eel. According to the person who posted the video, the clip would be shot at a beach in Indonesia. It featured a sea snake itself chomping into a hole around a coral reef and literally pulling out an eel. The moment that it did that, the fight was on. And what an awesome battle that it was. Although the snake fought valiantly, it appeared that it was unable to overpower the moray eel, and after the tense battle, the guy decided that it just wasn't worth it and that he'd go look for food elsewhere. And as for the eel, I'm pretty sure it would have a pretty sick story to tell its buddies back in the reef. A bore for your troubles. Pythons are very fearsome and menacing, and they literally scare the pants off of most other animals. I mean, you've got fully grown human beings seeing these snakes and making a run for it. So imagine how scared that most other animals would be of them. Still though, it appears that some animals might not necessarily care so much for running hysterically when they meet a snake, for some apparent reason. In this next clip, we'll be taking you back to October of 2012 when a python came across 3 young boars in the forests of Florida. Apparently, those boars had broken off from a group of others and were foraging for food in the forests, unaware that this python had been stalking them for the longest time. What was even more insane was the fact that the python literally came face to face with these succulent pieces of meat, and they just didn't give a damn. Can you imagine how insulted the python must have felt? Either the boars didn't know or they didn't care, and they still presented with such a sweet opportunity. You would best believe the python struck first and struck hard. You don't care about the huge predator that's coming at you? Well, that's what you're gonna get. Perfect camouflage. One of the reasons why snakes are so deadly is that they tend to find the perfect places to hide. In fact, you've got snakes that are so great at camouflaging that they literally hide in plain sight. For this next clip, we see a perfect example of that. A YouTube content creator who focuses on wildlife was taking a tour of a natural reserve in Maryland when he ran into a completely unexpected interloper on the road.
I'm gonna leave the camera on now the whole time. Just use up my batteries. That way I don't miss any footage.
Even by merely looking at the ground, you barely see anything there, but it was there all right. If you look close enough, you'll see the little rascal curled up on the sidewalk.
Not good at all, not good at all, not good at all. Shit. Okay. I just got...
Apparently, that was a copperhead snake. Copperheads are known for their dirt brown color, which sets them apart from most other snakes, and because the snake's color blended so perfectly with the sidewalk, it would have been almost impossible for the guy to notice it, especially since he was so busy filming his tour of the park. Fortunately for the guy, the copperhead snake is not known to possess especially potent venom, so he had had enough time to get a park ranger who came on the scene and administered an antivenom while removing the snake in a professional way. Going number 2. Personally, one of the biggest fears that I have is sitting on the toilet and having a snake crawl up there to bite my tush. I just don't know if it's the movies or if I've seen some kind of crazy book that I've read, but this is a major fear that I actually have. Anyways, while this is just a fear for me, it's kind of a reality for some others. Earlier this year, a woman in Tucson, Arizona went viral after she posted a video of a snake in her toilet that was being taken out.
Although a snake in a toilet is alarming, Hughes told KPHO it's rare to see.
According to her, she had been on vacation for a while, and when she returned to her home, she discovered the black viper chilling in her toilet. Can you simply imagine how scary that must have been? Fortunately, she found the snake before she sat down, and she was able to call a local exterminator service to help and get it out. Easter egg hunt. When Easter comes around, it's always one of the most exciting days of the year, Everyone goes around collecting eggs and designing Easter bunnies. Quick wrap. Personally, I think the people who choose to work at snake shelters are some of the most brave people in the world. These guys undergo immense training to ensure that they're properly ready for their work, but even then, the snakes that they encounter will often be pretty finicky. In this next clip, we see a handler at a snake shelter trying to bring out an albino python for an exhibition, but while he seemed pretty confident in his skills and was demonstrating how to approach the serpent, it appeared to have been triggered.
She's going to feel that it's a hook and not food.
Fortunately for the guy, the python was not venomous. He was pretty lucky as well, because with the position the snake bit him, things could have been much more lethal if there was any venom involved. To make things even worse, it appeared that the snake had already gotten agitated by the entire encounter, and as the guy tried putting it back in its enclosure, it made a quick heel turn. The crazy thing was how the guy just kept saying, "I'm a professional," while he was getting owned by the snake. Trust me, professional or not, these guys are not to be messed with. Camera shy. For this next video, we see a guy who had apparently been exploring a water body somewhere and ended up spotting a snake that was close to him. Despite not having much in terms of tools, he was able to fetch a grabbing stick from his boat, which he had used to hold the snake with some impressive skill. With the snake firmly in his hands, the guy decided to take it and showcase it using his camera on the boat. And for some reason, the snake was not all that pleased with this idea, and it showed its agitation immediately by lunging towards the camera. Yeah, something tells me that the snake was not all too happy about being on television. The stuff of nightmares. If you think a snake crawling up your toilet is bad, how about having one literally come to you while you sleep? This next video would be shot in Thailand, showing the moment that a snake somehow found its way into an old lady's room while she slept. The clip is apparently taken in 2019, showing a lady sleeping comfortably as a snake crawls also ever closely to her bed. Fortunately for her, she was able to get up just in time to catch the home invader. After the brief battle, she was able to keep the snake at bay and call for experts to help her get it out of the house. This must have been a really traumatizing experience for her. I mean, personally, I don't really care. I would be out of that house that night and never have come back, but perhaps that's just me. Selfie time. If you're holding a snake, I think it's safe to say that you want to be present all throughout. I mean, the very last thing that you want is to lose focus and end up with a snake all around your neck. But this park ranger apparently didn't seem to get that memo. He had been called by the local community to help address a massive python sighting, and to his credit, he actually did his job quite well. At the point when he handled the python, the guy was pretty much a hero to everyone in the community, and this is kind of when things begin to go downhill. You see, someone close to the ranger wanted to take a selfie with him, and instead of focusing on the python, he actually obliged. In that split moment, the ranger had lost his hold on the python and pretty much almost sealed his own fate. The snake immediately formed a coil around his body and began to tighten. Fortunately for the ranger, one of his assistants was able to break the snake's hold on him. What a lucky guy, though, considering that could have easily gone south. Tussling with the giant. A few years ago, this hilarious yet deadly clip would hit the internet, showing a moment when a bunch of snake experts were called in to help get rid of a Burmese python that had invaded the local farmland. The experts, who suspiciously got on the scene without much in terms of tools and equipment, eventually got to the location and found that the python had apparently climbed a tree and was all curled up on its branch. And so, one of them decided to climb up there and get it off, and that did not go as planned. The guy immediately knew that he was at a disadvantage, and he did his best to get away from the python. It was a pretty scary situation, but the guys managed to catch the python and get it off of the farmland. Here's a quick tip: don't try this again. Looking for Wi-Fi. Have you ever had a snake come into an enclosed space while you were there? It's scary, isn't it? You have absolutely no idea how crazy it can get, though. This next clip was captured by CCTV cameras in a cyber cafe in Thailand back in 2017. A guy was on his way out of the place, but he had no idea there was a snake just close to the door. The moment he finally found out what was taking place, he immediately lost his mind, and so did everyone else. Reports confirmed that the snake in particular was a rat snake, a non-venomous serpent that poses little to no threat to humans, but still, you can understand why these cyber cafe guys were scared out of their minds. Use your head. When you spend most of your life around snakes, I reckon that you'll get more comfortable with them and not really see them as what they are, insanely dangerous animals that can cause some real damage. This next guy appeared to fancy himself as a badass. He took a python by the head and proceeded to taunt it, probably to show off to his fans and friends on social media or something. Now at first, it was a series of blowing and spitting in the python's face, and then the guy gets really cocky and decides to place the python literally on his own face. And let's just say things did not go quite that well for him. Yikes! Now he has to look for how to get the python's teeth out of his head. Sure, the snake is not venomous and all, but even still, there is a lesson to be learned here. Just stop being horrible to animals. Watch the hand. Experts who handle snakes and extract their venom to make antivenom are the real heroes. Without them, who knows how many people would have perished from a snake bite. Now, to be a venom extractor, you need to be incredibly careful. You'll have to work in close proximity to snakes, and even the slightest mistake could prove to be lethal. Back in 2010, George Van Horn, a renowned herpetologist, had learned this firsthand while trying to extract the venom from a rattlesnake. As the clip will show, all it took was for George to get too close to the serpent and then get bitten. Fortunately for him, there was an antivenom facility close to his location, and he was able to get the treatment that he desperately needed. Hands off my baby. Even in the animal kingdom, there's a common principle. Mothers would do anything to defend their babies. Back in 2021, popular animal handler Jay Brewer got a perfect exhibition of this when he tried to take a python's egg while it was still there. While Jay was an expert and was trying different maneuvers, it was pretty obvious that the mama python was not messing around, and as soon as he got too close for comfort, she then pounced on him.
Come on, girl. She's like, hey, I finally laid some eggs and you're gonna take them from me? Yes, because we want them to hatch, because they won't hatch otherwise. Come on, girl. Come on. So the good part is with this smaller clutch, we can levitate. Oh man. Oh, I got it right in the face. I knew this was gonna be the video. Blood and all.
Jay was only spared due to his quick reflexes, and trust me, that could have been a really sticky situation. Hitching a ride. If you have a job to do and you find yourself suddenly visited at the workplace by an unwanted guest, chances are you'd feel pretty bummed out about it, so you can only imagine how these guys felt. In this next video, we see the chilling moment when a delivery driver was about to enter his car, only to find that a slithering snake had already beat him to it.
Recommend send me that picture, man. No AC vent recording. Yeah.
According to reports, the snake had apparently crawled into the vehicle through its vents and pretty much just sat on the dashboard. I don't know about you, but that snake kind of has an ownership mentality. I mean, the nerve of the guy to just sit on the dashboard and wait for someone to drive it around town. Fortunately, the snake was removed from the car without any issues, but boy, could you imagine how it would have been if it had come out of the vents while the driver was there. Yikes! Honestly, I don't think there are any of these scenarios that I wouldn't have freaked out completely if I were in these people's shoes. But then again, snakes are not my thing. What do you think, though? Would you be able to hold your own with these creepy, crawly creatures? Let us know in the comments down below. Be sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any videos in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.